से होया अमर प्राण रे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। भज गौरांग कह गौरांग लह गौरांगेर नाम रे। जे जना गौरांग भजे से होया अमर प्राण रे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। गुरुदेव गुरुदेव गुरुदेव, जय जय गुरुदेव। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna for the opportunity. Pranams to all.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, welcome again. So nice to see you, Mataji. Thank you for taking out time and giving us your association, Mataji. You want us to share the screen?
Oh, yes, Mataji, that will be of help.
Rohini Mataji will share the screen. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Give me just a second. Okay. Hare Krishna. Is my voice is clear?
Yes, Mataji. We
Okay.
can hear you.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna, Suma Mataji. Welcoming you all. Danat Pranam. Hare Krishna to all of you. So,
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
a very beautiful way to start the morning with all of you on this auspicious day of Vaikuntha Ekadashi. And it is more auspicious because all of us together are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So, on that note, we'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yetkrupaatam Aham Vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tat Sat. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, Canto 4, Chapter 8, 75 to 79 we are going to see today. And the chapter is entitled Dhruva Maharaja Leaves Home. Right? So, I see only 2 hands. I thought many people will want to volunteer today, thinking it's Vaikuntha Ekadashi. Yeah, there I see more hands. Yes, Shilpa Mataji, Shloka 75, and Rohini Vasudha Mataji will read the translation. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Mataji. चतुर्थम् अपि वैमासं द्वादशे हनि वायुभक्षोजितश्चासो ध्यायन् देवम् अधारयत्. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam Mataji.
Hare
Translation, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the fourth month, Dhruva Maharaj became a complete master of the breathing exercise, and thus he inhaled air only every 12th day. In this way, he became completely fixed in his position and worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Krishna. Thank you. Sarika Mataji, we'll read the next shloka also. And then Sarika Mataji will read the 76th shloka, and Suma Mataji will read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Panchame masi anuprapte jitashvaso nripatmajah dhyayan brahma padaikena tasthau sthanur ivachalah. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. By the fifth month, Maharaja Dhruva, the son of the king, had controlled his breathing so perfectly that he was able to stand on only one leg, just as a column stands, without motion, and concentrate his mind fully on the Brahman. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, just a quick recap about Dhruva Maharaja's austerity. So the first month, he ate only fruits and berries every third day. The second month, he ate dry grass and leaves every sixth day. And if we see the previous translations, Prabhupada, and in the shloka, it very more importantly, it says, Prabhupada stresses on the point that he worshipped the Lord. Irrespective of his austerity, he worshipped the Lord. And in the third month, only water every 9 days. And worship the Lord with selected verses. Haribol. Today is Ekadashi. If any of us are wanting to do Nirjan, or even Ekadashi Prasadam itself is such a austerity. And selected verses. That means he was, prayers were coming out of him in spite of all this austerity. And the fourth month, I'm sorry, not the third day, the fourth month, as we read, he was inhaling air every 12th day. And in that it says complete absorption of the Lord and worshipped the Lord. And in the fifth month, complete control of breathing, perfectly able to stand on one leg and concentrate his mind on the Lord. My God. I'm glad I'm not in Satya Yuga, right? Because this was the kind of austerity that you had to do if we have to, reach the our ultimate goal in the Satya Yuga. And now, if most of us who are thinking chanting is difficult, I think we should try even the first month, whatever Dhruva Maharaja tried, every third day, eating only fruits and berries that were found in the forest, then I think chanting will be so much easier, right? So you see how Lord himself, he realizes all of us are Kali Yuga products, right? And then we are in Kali Yuga, definitely even reading about this at least sent shivers in in my spine, like really is. And a 5-year-old boy trying to do this austerity now. So the Lord very mercifully has given us just the what is required for Kali Yuga. Then Hare Nama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Even that is such an austerity, isn't it, for all of us to find time to chant 16 rounds, to chant quality rounds, to just hear what we are chanting, right? Any japa workshop that you attend, right? The one thing commonly everybody shares, including the speaker, I mean, not that that's the person who is presenting, but out of humility, common, everybody says only one thing. Why does the mind have to do everything in the world only when we are sitting to chant? Until then, it is fine. Okay, we are happy doing everything else. But you sit to chant, and then, we start ruling the world. Right? So even that is such a austerity in Kali Yuga. Then imagine the austerity that 5-year-old Dhruva Maharaj took. Actually, 78 and 79 is what we'll discuss in detail. So we will read the next shloka also. And then what is there, then I will try to elaborate on that. So those who have read, if they can lower their hands, it will help me to call out the others. Right? Oh, there's some kid here. Naimisha Chandrika. Hari Bol. Yes. Can you read the 77th shloka, dear?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Happy Vaikuntha Ekadashi.
Hari Bol. Yes, it is really going to be happy. We find such cute one reading a shloka now. You want to read the shloka or translation, dear?
Shloka.
Oh, Hari Bol. Go ahead.
Sarvato mana akarshya hridhi bhutendriyashyam dhyayan bhagavato rupam nadrakshit kinchanarpanam. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam.
Where do you stay? I would like to take some lessons from you for reading the shlokas. So sweet. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, Barnali Mataji, please read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. And what pronouns, Mataji. He completely controlled his senses and their objects in this way when he fixed his mind without diversion to anything else upon the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, Divya Mataji, the purport is small, so we'll just read this purport.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The yogic principles of meditation are clearly explained here. One has to fix one's mind upon the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead without diversion to any other objectives. If it is not that one can meditate or concentrate on an impersonal objective. To try to do so is simply a waste of time, for it is
unnecessarily
troublesome, as explained in Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Klesho Adhikaratas Tesham. Krishna explains in the 12th chapter how difficult it is for the impersonalist or devotees or who are wanting to concentrate on nothing. I mean, like on a void, or try to make your mind blank and things like that, right? So Prabhupada time and again makes this point that concentrate on our mind on the form of the Lord, right? Even on the form of the Lord, it is so difficult, but at least there is a positive try. Have any of us tried to make our mind blank? And how many of us have been successful? I think somewhere I heard, there's some 40,000 thoughts that go through our minds each day. 30, somewhere around 30,000 to 40,000 thoughts. So in that scenario, trying to make the mind blank is as good as trying to concentrate the mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. If we are able to do that, that means the mind is blank. That means we are somebody is trying to be in samadhi, right? So Prabhupada is saying not on concentrate on an impersonal objective, but on the form of the Lord. So now we go to shloka 78. Archana Sai, Sunil Kumar will read the shloka, and Divya Desai Mataji will read the translation.
Hare Krishna, Pranamataji. Adaram Maharadinam Pradana Purusheshwaram Brahmadharaya Manasya Prayologascha Gandhire. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Dhruva Maharaja thus captured the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the refuge of the total material creation and who is the master of all living entities, the three worlds began to tremble. Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So now I have kind of summarized the purport and what Srila Prabhupada is trying to tell us, right? In the first place, it is we are trying to understand how the three worlds began to tremble, right? So there Prabhupada says, Jiva Goswami says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the origin of Brahman, right? And then we have references how the Supreme Lord is the origin of Brahman. Bhagavad Gita 14.27, Krishna says, translation by Prabhupada, and I am the basis of impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is constitutional position of the ultimate happiness. And if we take Ishopanishad mantra 15, there the mantra says, translation by Prabhupada, "O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee." So very clearly, here it is saying the Brahman effulgence is not the ultimate, but the Lord's form, Lord's face, which is, and there's nothing greater or greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now here, if we read the purport, eventually the purports that Prabhupada is trying to say, he's questioning, he's saying, how is this possible for Dhruva Maharaj, a 5-year-old boy, to make the whole world tremble? And if we see the summary, I mean, if you see the kind of conclusion, that is because his heart was filled with the Lord. Now we may wonder, even our hearts the Lord is there. Then what is the difference that we are trying to see, that about Dhruva Maharaj having the Lord in his heart and we having our Lord in the heart, right? We'll see some more examples, right? What it means to have the Lord in the heart. Now, if we take the example of Prahalad Maharaj, whose heart was filled with Lord, like Hiranyakashipu, if you have to just make that statement, ek baal bhi banka nahi kar saka. I mean, he could not even, even a hair he could not move. That is what it meant by having the Lord in the heart. Now, if we take the Pandavas, when the heart is filled with the Lord, what are the kind of calamities, what are the kind of things that they went through, right? But nothing ever shook them, nothing ever disturbed them from completely surrendering, believing in the Lord. So much so, Kunti Maharani says, I want all those calamities again. This is what it means to have, not just have the Lord in the heart, but fill the heart with the Lord. Then if we take Amrish Maharaj, today it is nice to meditate on Amrish Maharaj. Even though he was a Kshatriya, and then Durvasa Muni, with this tuft of hair, he created a Brahma Rakshasa, and that Brahma Rakshasa, he did not even move, Amrish Maharaj. He just stood there, welcoming that Brahma Rakshasa to accept whatever was in store for him. Like even if before the Brahma Rakshasa went and tried to kill Amrish Maharaj, Sudarshana Chakra came and killed the Brahma Rakshasa and started chasing Durvasa Muni. So this is what it means to fill the heart with the Lord. And of course, if we have to have a very recent and very profound example of, or for us to understand what it means to fill the heart with the Lord, our own dear Srila Prabhupada, right? At the age of 70, which is 40 rupees, 14 times around the world in 12 years, establishing 108 temples, and making so many devotees, etc., etc., etc. Right? So that is what it means to fill the heart with the Lord. Right? Similarly, here in the shloka and purport, it says Dhruva Maharaj also became heavy just by captivating the Lord in his heart. So why are we not feeling that heaviness, or that kind of intensity like these examples that we took? Why aren't we feeling that intensity of the Lord in our heart? Because our heart has so many other things. so many other things which is just burdening our lives, and which is just adding to the burden day by day, which is already burdened. And then we think that is, fortunately or unfortunately, we think that is how it should be, right? The moment we realize, like how Dhruva Maharaj and all these pure devotees realize, at least realize, first step, that it is only the Lord which has to rule our heart, right? Not desires, not hate, not envy, not moroseness, not depression, anything else that is ruling our heart other than the Lord and his activities, or the Lord's pure devotees also, right? Prabhupada always made a statement that it is my Guru Maharaj who did, that is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj did all whatever, he never took any credit. So either pure, what happens when we are thinking of the pure devotees? Because the pure devotee's heart is also heavy, filled with the Lord, right? So whether it is the pure devotees or the Lord himself, right? If they start ruling our heart, then we can also experience the same ecstasies, or whatever examples we took, heaviness that Dhruva Maharaj could make an impact on the whole world, that it began to tremble. So, and time and again, so many places. Actually, when I was trying to go through this and trying to prepare, somewhere there was given a reference of the 3rd canto, 28th chapter. It said shloka 1, right? I was just trying to. That is Kapila Muni's instructions into the devotional service to Devahuti. Actually, I ended up reading the translation of all the 44 shlokas. And then I said, okay, I don't think I can quote the first shloka only. Please read the translation, how Kapila Muni is glorifying devotional service. Now, why I'm bringing out this point is, if we read the purport, Prabhupada says Dhruva Maharaj, did devotional service to achieve this, right? So he's glorifying the devotional service, how different devotional service in the 44 shlokas. I just started, I thought 1 or 2 shlokas, which I wanted to quote. Then I said, okay, I will give the reference as a homework for Vaikunta Ekadashi, all the 44 shlokas, 328, 1 to 44. Right? And also, quickly, if we have to understand this last shloka of 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Yoginam api sarvesham madgate antaratmana Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yukta tamo mataha. And of all the yogis, if we think Dhruva Maharaja as an yogi, he's standing and then he's doing all these austerities, what Krishna is saying, of all the yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service, he is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion, he says, Krishna. That is what he's saying. So even at that aspect of understanding or trying to always remember the Lord in our heart. And then if we are able to perceive that, and then when we are dealing with people and we come across situations and circumstances which is not so favorable, which is negative, we are trying to think negatively. If we are able to strongly perceive the Lord in our heart, then the Lord will give the intelligence also to perceive the Lord in others' hearts. And then these kind of negative emotions or negative aspects will slowly diminish, will slowly become less. Now, why I'm saying this, this aspect is, the moment negative as thoughts or negative aspects come, then the tendency is very strong to forget the Lord. So when if we are able to think of the Lord. And the best way to do that for the whole day is recharge ourselves with a good chanting in the Brahma Muhurta or whatever convenient time, because I think there'll be a lot of mothers who will or Matajis who will be wanting to take care of the family. So whatever most convenient time, morning, if we are able to do the chanting, then we are fixing the Lord for the day. For the day, not for whatever. Then again, the next day starts here. Even after that, we know what all we go through in a day. Like immediately after chanting, we may say, hey, why this milkman didn't come? And then we may show our true colors. And on a lighter note, I mean, I'm saying we may get angry. So that is one aspect, chanting. On the positive side, how we can make our hearts heavy with the Lord, so that all the situations that I have to deal with myself and with other people and with all the situations that arise, we can still remember the Lord. And then the aspect of false ego. False ego, time and again we touch on that I have to first retire that I am controlling the world or controlling anybody, including myself. I'm the controller, I'm the proprietor, and I'm the enjoyer. Until that aspect of me is reduced, or I understand, is first step, and then I act on that. If I only when I do that strongly, then I will be able to, we will be able to perceive the Lord's heaviness or the Lord's presence strongly in our heart. Right? So it's a process, and then even if we, even if we are eating, or if we like something, say there's a beautiful flower, and then the first reaction will be, oh, it's so beautiful. And then the next moment you say, okay, I want to offer it to Krishna. That itself is such a transformation, right? Because from umpteen number of births, we are so used to unnecessarily enjoying, thinking we are the enjoyer. So even that one aspect, so whatever it is, it can be a food, it can be people, it can be any circumstance that we go through. Like it can be good. If it's a good one, thank you, Krishna. It's your mercy that something nice. And then if it is trying situation, then okay, then there's some correction that has to happen from my side. The situation is happening to purify myself. So in this way, that is how Prabhupada, in a lecture very beautifully says, it's so easy to remember Krishna. You're drinking water, Rasoham Apsukam. You're seeing the sun, I am sun. Are you seeing the moon? So, anything you see, actually in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is saying, I'm this, I'm the, even if you're watching TV, if you watch a mountain, then you say, oh, among the mountains, I'm Himalayas. Right? If you see somebody very demonic, among the Daityas, I'm Prahalada Asmi. So there is nothing, actually there is nothing that is bereft of Krishna. Okay, if you think, if we say Jadavastu, I mean like matter, it says, who created the matter? Bhumi, Rapo, Nalo, Vayo, Kammano, Buddhirevacha, there's actually nothing bereft of. That is what Prabhupada, very strongly in that lecture makes the point that it is so difficult to forget Krishna, right? If we know that, if we are reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, actually, and in spite of it, if we forget, then I can understand my conditioning. I mean, I'm talking also of myself, how strong. There's nothing actually bereft of Krishna. So we have to condition ourselves to see Krishna in everything rather than the matter or any other aspect other than that Krishna. Even if we forget, there can be some element that can remind us of Krishna. Right? If we start practicing that, then of course then it is not that I can remember. Matta smritir gnanam apunamcha. Next time, when I forget Krishna, something will come strongly. Krishna will make us remember him. And if we still forget, then when the next moment or next time you remember, you can ask him, why did you make me forget you? You can ask him, he's there in the heart. Right? So that is how I just thought, these are a few thoughts of this, how Dhruva Maharaj became so heavy, capturing the Lord in his heart. So we will see Shloka 79. I have Shilpa Mataji who has raised her hand and for the Shloka. And who wants to read the translation? Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Anita Mataji has not read. I think Naimisha can read the shloka and Anita Mataji the translation. Hari Bol.
Naimisha already read.
Mataji, even I have read, so I thought let her read.
Okay.
Hari Bol.
No, then we have
Anita
Anita
Mataji.
Mataji. Okay, Naimisha. Okay, go ahead.
Hare
That
Krishna.
child.
Naimisha Mataji, read the shloka. Anita Mataji the translation. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम यादैकपादेन सर्वपद पार्थिवर्भागस्तौ तदङ्गुष्ठ निपीडिता माहि नानामतत्रार्धं निबेन्द्र दृष्टिता तरीव सभ्येतरता पदे पदे. हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम.
Vaikunth Ekadasi done. So sweet. Thank you. Yes.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. As Dhruva Maharaj, the king's son, kept himself steadily standing on one leg, the pressure of his big toe pushed down half the earth, just as an elephant being carried on a boat rocks, and the boat rocks the boat left and right with his every step.
Okay. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada in the purport says Dhruva Maharaj was not allowed to sit on his father's lap, right? And Uttanapada did not even raise his eyebrow. You see, we are not talking of ordinary people, right? He's such an exalted devotee himself, Brahma's son, right? But then it is giving an aspect of when I come first, right? Or my senses has to be satisfied, no relationship matters, right? It can be father, mother, son, daughter, friend, colleague. If I am in the center of everything, then absolutely, because general tendency is, if children want something, the parents usually give up. I mean, in our small ways, even if we like something to eat, but if a child wants it, and if that is the last piece, we will give it up for the child, right? But then, whatever reasons, the father did not even say a word with all that. Literally, what does Suruchi say? See, her name itself is Suruchi. What did she say? You have to be born in my womb. That means she is saying you should die now and be born in my womb to sit on the lap of your father. Even then, he doesn't react. Right? So that is the power of false ego. That is the power of I. That is how strong it can be. And then, so, of course, Dhruva Maharaj goes to his mother Suniti and then accepting her words, even though for a material reason, just accepting her words and Narada Muni's words, for meditating on the Lord, the mercy of Supreme Father, forget the lap. Dhruva Loka, which is a Vaikuntha Loka. Nobody, not even his father, even Brahma, something much above. This is the mercy of the Lord. Prabhupada says, I don't know whether in this shloka or somewhere else, when the Lord gives, okay, how many hands he has? 10 hands. He can have, when the Lord gives, he gives so much that we have only 2 hands. We cannot take. There is that saying, na, chappad paar ke deta hai, Bhagwan jab dete hain. But at the same time, we should also remember, if we are not following or whatever it is, if the Lord has to take it away, he can take it away with that many hands also. So, and then so here also we'll see eventually Dhruva Maharaj rules for 36,000 years. So what came to my mind when I was reading this, it's only with Krishna. You can eat the cake and have it too. Like he did that, and then finally the title of this is he leaves home, and then of course the next he goes back to Godhead, right? But in the material world, either you can eat the cake or you can have the cake. Both of it doesn't happen. But with Krishna, it can happen, right? So Srila Prabhupada said, just by concentrating on the Lord, Dhruva Maharaja could push the world down, the earth down by the pressure of his toe, right? I want to read some of the translations of what it means to have the mercy of the Lord. Like we did see various examples in the previous sloka when I spoke about Pandavas, Amrish Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and right? Now, the Lord's mercy and the Lord's leelas are so dynamic, it is impossible to conceive it. Like this chapter from 6th canto, Vritrasura's episode, right? Vritrasura is an asura. And he's fighting against Indra, who is a devata. But then we all know, or some of us know, or eventually in the 6th canto in detail it will go. Why I'm trying to read this is, the mercy of the Lord can, really be, even the mercy can bewilder us, right? See, this is Canto 6, Chapter 11, Text 21, translation. Please listen to the translation by Prabhupada. By the force of your thunderbolt, Vritrasura is saying, Vritrasura is an asura. By the force of your thunderbolt, I shall be freed from material bondage and shall give up this body and this world of material desires. Fixing my mind upon the lotus feet of Lord Sankarsana, I shall attain the destination of such great sages as Narada Muni, just as Lord Sankarsana has said. Who is saying this? Vritrasura. His name is only Vritra Asura. So you see, in the purport, Prabhupada says a devotee is always ready to give up his material body, which is described here as Gramya Pasha, the rope of material attachment. And then in the next sloka translation, Prabhupada says, persons who fully surrender at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do we have the translation? Yeah. Shobha Mataji can read the translation. Please read the translation. Devotees, please listen. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes.
Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Happy Vaikuntha Ekadashi to one and all devotees. Translation. Persons who fully surrender at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and always think of his lotus feet are accepted and recognized by the Lord as his own personal assistants or servants. The Lord never bestows upon such servants the brilliant opulences of the upper, lower, and middle planetary systems of this material world. When one possesses material opulence in any of these three divisions of the universe, his possessions naturally increase his enmity, anxiety, mental agitation, pride, and belligerence. Thus, one goes through such endeavor to increase and maintain his possessions, and he suffers great unhappiness when he loses them. Haribol, Dandavat Mataji, thank you.
So you see what the sloka and the translation says, when one possesses material opulence in any loka, We are seeing time and again how Indra is so afraid of losing his, being the Adipati of Swargaloka. What increases? Enmity, anxiety, mental agitation, pride, and belligerence. Actually, somewhere else, one another shloka, I don't remember which. There, the shloka of Bhagavatam, it says, the person is foolish to ask material benediction. But it is also equally foolish if the person grants it, or if the Lord grants it. That is the translation of that shloka. I mean, it is not just the person who asks. Even if it is granted, then it is so foolish. Because what is going to increase? All this enmity, anxiety, mental agitation. But in the purport, Prabhupada says, if a devotee sometimes needs some material positions for preaching, but the positions of the preacher are not like those of a karmi. A karmi's positions are achieved as a result of karma, but those of a devotee are arranged by Supreme Personality of Godhead just to facilitate his devotional activities. So why I read out that is, it is not that one should not be opulent, or one should not have riches, or one should not have facility, but it is important what we do with it, right? So that is, Vritrasura is telling, actually, Vritrasura is saying all this to Indra, right? And then if we see the next chapter 12, Indra is saying, if we can go to chapter 12 of Mataji of the same canto, 6:12, shloka 19. Shloka 19. Shilpa, who was sharing? Okay, anyway, I'll not wait. Translation. This is 6:12, shloka 19.
It's on the screen, Mataji. 6:12.
6:12.
19, right?
Huh.
19. It's on the screen.
No. 6:12, 19.
No, Mataji, the previous sloka is only on the screen.
No, that was the previous chapter
6:11
also.
is on the screen. Yes, now we
6:12.
could have it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Krishnamurti Prabhu, please read the translation. See what Indra is saying.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Hare
Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Indra said, O great demon, I see by your discrimination and endurance in devotional service, despite your dangerous position, that you are a perfect devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul and the friend of everyone. Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Next shloka translation, Sunila Mataji, who has raised her hand. That is the last translation that we'll read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. You have surrounded the illusionary energy.
Mataji, surmounted.
Surmounted, sorry.
Slowly.
You have surmounted the illusory. You have surmounted the illusory energy of the Lord Vishnu, and because you have given up the demoniac mentality and have attained the position of exalted devotee.
Exalted devotee. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. So, what is Indra saying? You have surmounted. Who is he telling? Vritrasura. He's telling the Asura, you have surmounted the illusory energy. Prahlad, when Narsimha says, you ask whatever benediction you want, after Narsimha appears, Prahlad says, see, I come from a Daitya family. Okay, don't tempt me because we are so used to sense enjoyment. So don't tempt me by saying you ask me for any benediction. And then, of course, he shows his true color by saying, you give me a benediction that I may not ask anything. So he's born in a demon family. Like Vritrasura, he is a demon, but he has surmounted the illusory energy and attained the position of an exalted devotee. So actually we can go on and on. This chapter is Vritrasura's glorious death. You might all be wondering why I jumped to Canto 6 from Canto 4. The point I am trying to, 2 points I want to make here. First is having the Lord in the heart, making the heart heavy with the Lord. Anybody can exhibit these qualities. Indra is saying you are an exalted devotee. right? In the previous chapter, the 11th chapter of this canto, there Vritrasura is, preaching to Indra. No, you go ahead, kill me. Either ways, that Ayudha which you have got, Vajrayudha which you have got, is given by Lord Vishnu to kill me. So what are you afraid of, right? And when both his hands are cut, and then the Bhagavatam says, Vritrasura looks beautiful, glorious, it says, with both. Actually, it's such a, Vritrasura himself is very ghastly, it looks very, is a demon, is a huge demon, looks ghastly. But with both his hands cut off and blood pouring, but Bhagavatam says he looks glorious. Why? Because it is not that ghastly external feature that is sin, but his heart, which is filled with the Lord. And then when finally Indra cuts his, it takes 1 year to cut his neck, it says, because he's already, he had, when Indra, he swallowed Indra, he says, now there is no more danger. Indra is not going to kill me, and he leaves the body. So it takes 360 days, Bhagavatam says in this chapter at the end, to cut his throat, right? So that is what the aspect of, I'm trying to bring out here, what it means to make our heart heavy with the Lord. And another aspect that came to my mind was never judge anybody. If Prahlada, Vritrasura, even though born in Asura family, Vibhishana, if the Lord's inconceivable mercy can make anybody anything, right? So it is very important for us to not judge anybody. Oh, they are not chanting now, they are materialist, we are chanting. I mean, the general tendency we go through. We have to grow through this, get above this aspect, because we never know whose soul is gone through what aspect of devotional service and what is waiting there. Suddenly everything can, sprout, can come like a volcano. So here, so these are the lessons that we can learn from Srimad Bhagavatam about how all these exalted devotees, even though they had made their heart heavy with the Lord, how humble they were. And then if anybody decides to make their heart heavy with the Lord, that person is glorious, irrespective of what background the person comes from. So, which very importantly, we have to, we have to inculcate in us to accept people as it is and not judge. Then just internalize ourselves. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj says, if you have to really criticize or make comments on somebody, first look internally. Right? Look internally. How many things I have to work on myself rather than trying to talk about others. Yeah, in this purport, Prabhupada talks about Kirata, Unanda, Pulinda, Pulkasha. They are, such even lower beings. We thought Shudra, then much lower. But even they, if they are able to chant the holy name, even they are supposed, they can be considered even gurus. Okay, that is what Prabhupada, this is the beauty of Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, who brought out this aspect of devotional service is not for any one sect or one varna or one ashrama. No, it is, though it is there in Bhagavatam as theory, Srila Prabhupada was one who did practicals. Showed the world, showed us that if you have to become this, then all you have to do is yogi namapi sarvesham. You have to always man mana bhava bhakto madhyaji nam namaskuru. Always think of the Lord. Mame Vaishis Yuktvayan Atmanam Atmanam. So thank you all very much for this patient listening, and more importantly, on this auspicious day, to start with the beautiful verses of Srimad Bhagavatam of how heavy the Lord can be. The Lord can be in our hearts. So with that note, I would like to seek all your prayers and blessings for overcoming whatever, not whatever, many frailties that are there in the presentation, and also to give me the intelligence and strength to do the seva or any seva in the right mood and right spirit. Thanking you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. Wonderful class, Mataji. Lot of realizations. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Devotees, any questions? If anybody wants to ask, please raise your hands. Suma Mataji, you can ask.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Wonderful class, Mataji. Pranam. Mataji, this is a very nice takeaway point for all of us, Mataji. I just wanted to share this, Mataji, like not judging others, Mataji. So but it is not possible because the mind keeps thinking about others, and we make judgments on somebody, Mataji, everybody, in fact. So what I feel I do is that, Mataji, as soon as the judgment comes, I just pray to the Lord, please help me to come out of this, and I just pray for them also, Mataji. And in many cases, I have got to know, like, whatever I have made judgments on them, that has, God has helped them, Mataji, to come out of that. So this is my practical experience. I just wanted to share, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Whether they change or not, definitely we will change. So that, because
Same way.
we are thinking of the Lord. So the other person, anyway, that mind only the Lord can know. But at least what goes through my mind, I can know. So definitely the change is there in us. But the others, anyway, it is between that person and the Lord. So let's not get into. Thank you,
Yes.
Mataji. That was a nice takeaway. Hare Krishna.
The same way, Mataji, I just seek everybody, Mataji. I just make a sincere prayer, like you just pray for me, because I can't see my anarthas. That is the greatest
Anartha.
Mataji. So I just
That
pray
is
to them.
why, that is why devotees of the Lord, pure devotees of the Lord, Vaishnava Seva is so important. Because even though Vaishnavas see our anarthas, they still allow us to serve them, and they keep correcting them. That is how you hear that we are only practicing devotional service here. And by serving Vaishnavas, we are removing those anarthas and trying to make us eligible to serve Krishna when we go back to Godhead. So Vaishnavas, that is why Vaishnava Aparadha, because they are, really giving they are taking all our anarthas, the seva filled with anarthas, still accepting it and very mercifully correcting us. So the Lord will not accept any Vaishnava Aparadha, because you see, they are actually elevating us. And then, so Vaishnava Seva is very helpful in removing anarthas if we have the right attitude, taking the feedback that they give and work on that. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sure, Mataji.
Vasudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavad Pranam, Mataji. Very nice class, Mataji. Mataji, in the class, one point we have come that I is very, very powerful. And at the same time, equally, many lectures we hear, chanting is also powerful. So when we are doing more and more chanting, Mataji, I do not know. The problems will keep on more and more. Maybe it is like a test. I take it as a test paper to pass it on. But still, the tests are aside, Mataji. But this I might be in any form. Will this also will get slowly overcome through chanting day by day, keeping on going? Just.
actually, I wanted to cover, then I thought, okay, maybe too much. So, see, chanting, kindly, I think we should attend some of the japa sessions, right? So, actually, quality chanting, I mean, what we should do, what are we actually doing? Are we chanting? We had a japa session and then it was such an eye-opener. So maybe in the group, you should request Narani Kupa Mataji for some of these, very senior devotees do japa sessions. And then so a 2-day sessions, so over the weekends. So it can be online because all of you come online. So that is one thing. Okay. Then then you said the aspect of I. I want to quote His Grace Gauranga Darshan Das Prabhu. He said, we are dependently independent. You see, the aspect of I, if it is in connection with Krishna, see, ego will never go. But there is the aspect of false ego. What is the aspect of false ego? Aspect of false ego is that I is independent of Krishna. What is the true ego? That you identify, we identify ourselves as souls along with Krishna. So he used that very beautiful word. We are dependently independent. Right? So the aspect of I will not go, but it is the aspect that everything I do is the mercy of the Lord, or it's sanctioned by Lord. So this thing, if we understand, at least try to understand, then anything that we do will always connect with Krishna. So the I, I have done it, or rather, a better way to say, the Lord has allowed me to, still I am there, or he has used me as an instrument to do it. Okay. So in that way we can address this. Okay. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, we have to dovetail even at that point also towards Krishna, so that I false thing will slowly melt. Melt, I can say. I do not know when. Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Hari Bol. Lot of good realizations. Mataji, pray for us that we can put it in application. Because there are a lot of lectures that we keep hearing from senior devotees, but when the time comes, we get triggered, Mataji. After doing it or reacting also, we realize that, oh, I didn't have to react, but it's already that arrow has gone. So when will that realization come, and when will that control of mind come, Mataji, in spite of chanting?
See, that aspect that we have realized, that has to, we have realized that I should not have reacted. It's a good progress. Give yourself 2 points. Right?
Mataji, but we are in that stage for quite a long time now. But we
yeah. See, please, we should be very hopeful, not feel very dejected. We are fighting against Maya, which is Krishna's energy, one thing. And from what Prabhupada and all Acharya says, she will be more forceful if one is trying to be a devotee. So that is another, it's a war only, right? And then the other thing is, see, it is not whatever our age, 40, 50, 30, it is not just this. We are talking of lifetimes of this aspect that we have been attached to this matter, our body. And that now in 5-10 years, okay, I will, give yourself time, patience. Just, Prabhupada says, just hold on to my dhoti. It will happen. That is all. I'm sitting here and saying a lot of things. But then if you find me reacting, don't be surprised. I'm also trying. All of us are in the same boat. I'm just repeating words here. Okay.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji. Can we end the class with prayers?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Vancha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Anantakoti
Anantakoti
Vaishnavindaki
Vaishnavindaki
Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much,
much,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
I'll
Thank
end
you,
the class,
Mataji. Dandavat
Mataji.
pranam. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Very
Krishna.
nice class.
Hare Krishna, pranams Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.